From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger. I want to congratulate Julie she's the winner of the pair of Red Bluff Roundup tickets here for Friday night's event. Here's the problem. I emailed her yesterday morning, haven't heard from her all day, haven't heard from her even this morning. So, Julie, if you're out there and you're watching, please check your email or email me, let me know that you know about this so we can communicate, so we can get the tickets to you. Now, if you know Julie, let her know. Otherwise, I will be forced by noon today, that is, of course, April 16th, I will be forced to draw a new winner. As much as I hate to say it, but that's just the reality of it. I want to make sure that someone gets those tickets. They're box tickets. They're box seats. They're amazing. So yeah, we want to make sure that someone gets those tickets. All right, this is a beautiful picture sent in by Owen Head. Devil's Punch Bowl in the Siskiyou Wilderness. What a beautiful shot. What a beautiful area we live in. And if you take any beautiful shots, whether it's out in the wilderness or a sunset or a sunrise or some flowers, hey, you can share those from the free Weather NorCal app. All right, let's go and take a look at our Krueger's Quickcast for your Thursday, April 16th. All right, here we go. Let's get you out the door. More sunshine. It's going to be a cool start to the day. In fact, despite the added sunshine, it will be deceptively cool out there as we take you through the day. That's just because we have that cooler air in place. You see that cold front? That's what moved through. And not only is it bringing us cooler air, but it's also bringing us some pretty gusty winds, especially for the valley, which we'll get into that here a little bit. But let's take a look at Futurecast because yeah, we're talking about dry conditions here. Midday today, you've got mostly sunny skies. We take you through the afternoon. You're talking mostly sunny skies, and even going into tonight, still those clear skies. And, that's going to be the case here as we go into Friday and even through the weekend. And yeah, we're going to talk about that chance for rain on Sunday, by the way. Wind advisory has been issued for the Sacramento Valley until 11 o'clock tonight, with gusts possibly from the north at about 40 miles per hour, and sustained winds about 15 to 25 miles per hour today. So those winds will certainly be a factor here through the afternoon, even going into this evening, a little gusty at times as well. Chances for rain, look at that on Sunday. 10% chance. It's a very slim chance. It's looking more and more now like it's not until early next week that most of us will see the rain. Now the coast, most likely on Sunday. We'll see. But again, we'll take a look at that in the deeper dive here in just a bit. So for today, yeah, deceptively cool out there. We're still seeing more sunshine, but temperatures only reaching the mid to upper 60s in the valley. Now, I do need to mention there is a frost advisory until 9 o'clock this morning for western Siskiyou County. And there's also a freeze warning for the areas in purple tonight into tomorrow morning. And still another frost advisory, for the coast for tonight and into tomorrow. So very cold temperatures, especially in the higher elevations and along the coast. So for tonight, upper 30s, low 40s in the valley. So no frost, no freeze, anything of that nature. But look at the mountains, 15s and 20s, and in the low to mid 30s for many of you in the mountains, and even those mid to upper 30s for the coast tonight. So yeah, it's going to be a cold one. Now again, temperatures are warming up Friday, Saturday, even Sunday. And look what I've done at the 7-day forecast. Yes, I've taken out the rain for all of the valley on Sunday, and then basically just pushing it back a day and putting into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Now the coast, the positioning of the low may bring some showers on Sunday, as well as the inland areas and maybe even Trinity County. But for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, dry through the entire weekend. And it's not until Monday of next week that we may see some of that rain begin to move in. So certainly kind of interesting to kind of see what's going on with that. There, of course, look at a camera, but we're not going to be looking at that just yet. Frost, freeze concerns for the mountains and coast. That's, of course, tonight to tomorrow morning. Gusty winds at times, and gusty winds today especially. But even after today, even though the winds will be dying down a bit, still gusty at times across parts of Northern California. Dry through the weekend, models backing down on Sunday's rain, at least for most of us. The coast still that chance. And then unsettled to start next week. So let's get into all of that in our deeper dive forecast. But first, a word from the Red Bluff Roundup.
Get ready for the largest three-day rodeo in America. Over $350,000 in prize money. 3 days, April 17th through the 19th. Cowboys and cowgirls from across the nation come to Red Bluff to compete for over $350,000 in cash. Family fun for all ages at the Tehama District Fairgrounds. Don't miss this year's Red Bluff Roundup. Tickets available online and at the Red Bluff office.
So here's the satellite image, and I want to show you what's going on here. You can see the cold front right here. Now, that cold front is pushing down to the south and east. That's what moved through yesterday and really gave us that unsettled weather. And where most of the rain was, on the coast. Over a half an inch in some spots, especially out in the Delaware County region, right? But there's the area of low pressure. Here's the cold air that's moved on in, and that's why our temperatures have really dropped. And again, deceptively cool today. It's going to be mainly sunny, but that cooler air is going to be in place. All right, let's talk about our chances for rain now. So you may remember, and here's what's interesting. Many times we really talk about the fact that the European forecast model tends to be more accurate. But I tell you what, here's what happened. A couple of days ago, the GFS, the model that we're looking at right here, finally said, all right, I'm done with bringing rain in on Sunday. I'm going to hold off until early next week. All right, so that was a couple of days ago. But a couple of days ago, the European forecast model is saying, no, it's still going to rain on Sunday. All right. Then you can see here as we go into Monday, GFS is still saying dry Monday. It's not until Tuesday, Wednesday of next week that it may begin to push on through. So the positioning of this low is still a bit uncertain. The timing of this low is still a bit uncertain as well. But we do know that it does look like it may begin to dry out again toward the end of next week. Now let's take a look at the European forecast model. Now, as I mentioned, the GFS was the first to say, nope, it's not going to rain on Sunday. It was a day later that the European forecast model decided to go ahead and come on board with that. So take a look at Sunday, area of low pressure, rain, just off the coast. So here's what I'm calling for. Rain on Sunday for the coast, inland areas, and maybe parts of Trinity County. Now, the European forecast model, unlike the GFS, is saying, all right, Monday, we'll go ahead and push in that rain, keep that chance for rain Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and then drying out by the end of next week, right? By the time we get into Thursday and even into that Friday. So, still a little uncertain with the timing of this area of low pressure, but we're beginning to see more consistency that at the very least it will be dry all weekend long for most of us. Like I said, by Sunday, still maybe a chance for showers for the coast. Let's take a look at that here because our in-house forecast model now goes out to Sunday, so we'll kind of get an idea here. All right, so we're dry Thursday, those gusty winds in the valley here for today. Let's take you into your Friday. Maybe a couple of passing high clouds, but still mainly sunny skies for your Friday. We take you into your Saturday, a few clouds kind of coming in advance. Now, here's the thing. The main cold front, the main storm system is still well off to our west. We may see a little bit of weak disturbances kind of pushing through, giving us a cloud cover, maybe a few sprinkles. But overall, it still looks to be dry on Saturday. Then this storm system kind of tightens up. It organizes itself a bit here. And look at Sunday. You see how it's just kind of stalling itself out. The area of low pressure off to the west is stalling out. But this is too close for comfort for me to say, oh, it's going to be dry on Sunday for the coast, because I still think there could be some showers for the north coast and even parts of Trinity County and western Siskiyou County. But I'm going to go ahead and call it dry for everyone else on Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, that next shot is for some rain. All right, let's talk about those winds. As mentioned, there's a wind advisory today for the Sacramento Valley. Why? Well, take a look at the winds. We're going to see sustained winds of around 15, 25 miles per hour. Could see gusts up to 40. Now, it's still gusty along the coast and a little gusty off to the east, but I think the strongest winds will be in the valley, kind of funneling down into the valley. But by Friday, the winds do subside a bit. Saturday, a little breezy coming in out of the south. Right, then we go into your Sunday, winds pick up again, especially off towards the eastern mountains. As that storm system approaches from the west, we'll probably start to see those winds begin to pick up again. So yeah, off and on winds over the next several days. Temperature-wise, another bit of a roller coaster ride. We're seeing a little increase here for Friday, Saturday, nice dip going into Monday, Tuesday. This is when we see that best chance for that rain moving in, right? And then we start to go back up. In fact, near the end of next week, we could be talking about some temperatures in the 80s for the valley. Here's a look at your lake levels. Still very healthy, over 100% for all three lakes. No big surprises there, but we still have some fairly high wave heights for today. Good news is they should start to subside going into your Friday, but there is a small craft advisory still in effect through today, with those north winds eventually quickly rising at about 20 to 25 knots. Here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored by Dignity Health and Grange Co-op. Here's a look at Trinity County. Temperatures basically upper 50s, low 60s for your highs today. This is that day where you're going to look outside before you get out there and you go, wow, it's sunny. It's going to be beautiful and warm. It'll still be kind of deceptively cool out there, so just kind of take note of that. You may need to wear maybe a light jacket. But notice I've got the raindrops on Sunday, but better chances for rain coming in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And for Siskiyou County, I've got you dry through Sunday. Possible showers coming in around Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And again, that's pretty much the same story for everybody else, right? It's just the coast that has the best chance for showers on Sunday, but everyone else is going to hold off until at least Monday, if not maybe even to Tuesday. Eastern Mountains, 54 degrees for Greenville today. Paradise, you'll top out at about 62. Yes, deceptively cool, not even reaching 70 today. Mid to upper 60s. And with that north wind, boy, that's not going to help either. I was out at my son's track meet yesterday, and just that wind really blowing, making for a cool, cool day. But there are, of course, more clouds out there as well. But there you can see dry through Sunday in Chico. Yeah, I'm going ahead and committing to that. Temperatures mid to upper 60s for the valley, 66 for Cottonwood and Red Bluff, and 67 degrees in Anderson. Looking at your 7-day forecast for Redding, we're in the mid-70s by the time we do get into Friday, Saturday. Now again, temperatures dropping slightly on Sunday with that next chance for rain come Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'll be back again at noon for the latest Check Your Weather. Have a great morning.
When you see flashing lights, someone's life depends on us.
And while we're out helping crash victims, we need your help to keep us safe. Move over, slow down, it's the law, it protects everyone.
Our crews are out here every day, keeping the roads safe for you and your family.
We're often the last ones on scene, and we want to make it home safe too.
Protect those who protect you, slow down and move over.